Okay, my name is Doreen Lewis Marx Krulewitch. It's quite a long name, and I was born in London, England, um, the latter part of the 1920s, and I was an only child. I know the interest here is in the music that I presented in the Miami-Dade area of Florida for over 33 years. And the experience that I gained in my early years of the love of music and musicians, I think developed in my life. I was not fortunate to have gone to music school. I had a smattering of the piano, but I guess things happen along the way that make you change and redirect you. I was in the Second World War. I went through the Blitz. I was a young girl, I think about 12, when I was evacuated to Oxford. So quite honestly, I can say that I was educated in Oxford. It sounds pretty good, but I was educated in Oxford at a secondary school that we shared with the resident school in a place called Headington, Oxfordshire. One of the reasons I think that I was interested in presenting music or doing anything from the Jewish point of view is that I wanted my fellow non-Jews, I call them fellows because we are indeed all fellows. We are all brothers and sisters. However, I wanted to offset any feelings of anti-Semitism. I wanted people to say, hey, here's somebody that is, what I really wanted to do was to give back to the community in any way that I could. And music was a wonderful way to do that. I have to share an experience with you that kind of prompted me in this vein. I was evacuated to Oxford, as I said, with my school on the onset of World War II. I believe it was September the 3rd, 1939, with 6 other girls. These 6 other girls were non-Jewish. I was the only Jewish girl. And we were taken in by this host and hostess. They got 10 and 6 from the government for housing evacuees from London. We were taken to the attic, given mattresses to sleep on. And the 6 girls went on one side of the attic and I was on the other side of the attic. And that had a profound effect on me. I was taken away from my family, boarded a train, taken to Oxford, put on buses like cattle. And that was a terrible experience for me. But getting back to the music, I am still a member of Temple Beth Am, and on the board of Temple Beth Am, along with a friend of mine who handled the art part of the activities at Temple Beth Am, I kind of dealt with the music, whatever they wanted. Actually, it was bluegrass, jazz. However, this one particular weekend, it was decided to have a festival to bring art from a Jewish museum, the Moriah Art Gallery on Madison Avenue, and bring down this antique Judaica. And I said, you can't have a festival without music. So we had the art show on Saturday night with a reception at somebody's home. And on the Sunday afternoon, I arranged for the first chairs of the Florida Philharmonic, and I remember to form a quartet. And I didn't want to charge anything. I figured if you're going to have something at a temple, it should be free. So it was free for the audience members, and we paid them, I believe it was $500. Yafim Pastuk was the concert master. Nina Gold was the cellist. There was a David Chappell and a Stuart McDonald, and I remember these guys' names, which is, I think, incredible. Anyway, it was a very successful concert. It was so successful that this was in the autumn of 1981, either 81 or 80. I can't quite remember.
It was 81.
It was 81. My associate here said it was 81. 81? 81 it is. And that was so successful that everybody was thrilled, I was thrilled, and boom, this was at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I chose 4 o'clock in the afternoon because that was when Horowitz always had his concerts, at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I figured to myself, if it's good enough for Horowitz, it's good enough for us. Anyway, so that was so successful, and I thought, my golly, let's have another one in the spring. So I just planned to have the same 4 back with a different repertoire, and I left that up to them. I said schmaltzy stuff that people will go away humming and will enjoy. So when I checked with bookkeeping, there was no money left. I thought we had $1,000, $500 for the concert in October and $500 for the concert in the spring. And then anything further, I figured I'd handle that later. I would find a way. So when I checked with bookkeeping, there was no money, because it seemed that the insurance money for the Antique Judaica from the Mariah Art Gallery, instead of costing $500, cost $1,000. So I went to Rabbi Baumgart, the then rabbi at Temple Beth Am, and I said, first of all, you can't renege on a deal with musicians. They need the money. And second of all, Yafim Pastuk and Nina Gordon, Nina Gordon,
right,
were refugees. I said, you can't do that. So Rabbi said, charge. He said, have tickets printed, give them out to a few of your friends, and ask them to please sell the tickets. He didn't know that, but I already had the tickets printed. We charged, I think, $5 for regular admission and $2.50. I had a friend of mine make posters in calligraphy by hand yet. And I went up and down. I had about 8 of them. And I went up and down Sunset Drive asking proprietors if they would put them in their windows. The second concert, that too was very successful. And from then I don't quite remember how I handled the third concert, because the rabbi said, if you can do a good job with this second concert, go for the third. So I went for the third, and I think we had a cellist by the name of Ingus Narens and a Miami pianist who was really quite competent and very, very good, Michelle Levin. That was the third concert. They were all held in the sanctuary at Temple Beth Am, where the acoustics were terrible. There was carpet, so I arranged to have a piece of wood put under the piano to give it better sound. The fourth concert, I can't remember. Do you remember the fourth concert?
No, I wasn't with
I can't
you then.
remember the fourth concert. But I think I can. Can you stop this now? Can you cut?